Hi, this is Dodger and you're watching my show. I figure a lot of people have been doing like pre-E3 videos, speculations, etc. But I'd rather just kind of do a wrap-up of general stuff that's been going on. Because I mean, look, okay, here are my feelings on E3. Oh my gosh, at E3 we're gonna see so many VR headsets from so many different companies. Oh my goodness, so many different game clients were announced. That's pretty crazy. Some of them DRM free, like the GOG one. That's pretty cool. Wild speculations about whether or not Nintendo is suddenly gonna pull ahead, even though they've been so far behind, all because of Mario Kart. Wow! So first thing I wanted to talk about, in true Dooger fashion, some of you are going to feel like this really doesn't need to be in this video. The Guinness World Record holder for the largest personal collection of video games is selling all of them as a big bundle. His name is Michael Thomason. He has 11,000 plus games. I guess he has a little over 11,000, but you can generally say 11,000. And it's really sad because some people are like, well, was he pushed into it? Does he not really want to sell them? Or maybe he's just like decided it's time to grow up? That sucks. But apparently the actual situation is that he's having some family problems. They need the money, and so he's selling his collection. He's like, do what I gotta do. They're being sold on a website called Game Gavel, so if you'd like to go there, it's currently at 90,501. Nailed it. I'm sure it's more than that by now. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how fast these sort of auctions like continue to grow, especially once you hit like $90,000. But yeah, that's gonna be up there for another week, I believe. I think it shuts down on the 13th, so go check that out, dog. I remember when I was a kid, we had so many NES games. Like my dad and my brother both played them. And I was convinced we had all of them. I was like, oh my gosh, we had every Nintendo game ever made. And then eventually I went to my friend's house and realized that was so not true. It kind of broke my heart a little. Anyways, so Reading Rainbow. That was a big thing this week. Currently at $3.5 million, their next big goal is $5 million, and at that point they will be putting Reading Rainbow on all major consoles. Or like, so they say, I don't know what all major consoles means for them, if that means like current gen or if it means last gen mostly. It's hard to say, but that would be kind of cool. I am blown away by how much support they've gotten for Reading Rainbow. I can't even really comprehend it, but I guess at the same time, they've been continuing to do stuff with Reading Rainbow. It's just for us, it felt like the second the TV show was over, then it was just done. And in reality, they've had an app that's been doing really well, and I guess being able to put it in more places where kids can find it and be able to learn from it is their big goal. So they're trying really hard right now to reach a goal where they feel like they can put it on all of the different game systems, which I think is really cool. It's just one of those things that's going to make parents feel so much less like games and game systems are ruining their kids, right? It's going to be something that is put on the game console that will help them. And the more stuff that we have like that, the better, I think. You just get the brunt of it a lot, you know? The second something goes wrong with a kid, they question whether or not that kid has been playing video games a lot, and I think that's really sad. So anything that's going to help people realize that we're not the enemy, totally cool with it. Anyway, they have like 20 some odd days left for Reading Rainbow, so I'm assuming they're gonna hit that $5 million mark. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe not, but on kind of that same note, remember when Martin Kenwright of MotorStorm fame decided to branch off and create his own group? So the new studio wound up being called Starship, and everybody's really interested in it because so far, their flagship titles are all educational games, right? See, we have like a theme going on right now. So Cybercook is a program that teaches you how to cook in a virtual tutorial. So you could have your little tablet and you could basically like virtually make the food and then make it in real life. I think that that's interesting, and at the same time I'm wondering if it would be really tedious. Like sometimes when you're playing Cookin' Mama feels like there's too many steps, right? And with an actual virtual cookbook, you would get overwhelmed with how many steps there are. Okay, it's time to grate your ginger. Remember, use your spoon to skin it. They're also making a game called Playworld, and I'm trying to remember if that's the game that's supposed to be entirely Oculus Rift. There's a game with that same sort of a title that's intended to only be used with Oculus Rift. But in case that's not true, I'm gonna just discard that information. But Playworld is supposed to be a game that unlocks a child's creativity for ages 5 and up. So you can see why people who have been following Starship are like, what? Oh my gosh, and then there was Classcraft. Wait a minute. I like just now remembered this, and since we're already talking about it, I'm just gonna throw this out there too. There's also a new program called Classcraft that turns your classroom into an RPG, essentially. So like, all of your students are broken up into groups, like adventure groups, and everybody has a different class that they play, and you have to do well in the class, or at least try your best, and bring your notes and show up for class and everything, and all of those things contribute to your team doing well and your character, like, getting upgrades. I was like, oh my gosh, if somebody had that in my physics class, because I think that the teacher who made it is a physics teacher. It's like, if my physics teacher had that program, I would have done so much better in physics. Look, I'm bringing this up because I find all of these things so fulfilling and engaging and wonderful to know that our generation is now hitting the point where we can really think to ourselves, how can we help make the world better with the thing that we love? It's just such an empowering feeling to spend so many years being told that video games are a waste of our time, and then turn around and be like, no, we can make this useful. We can help people with this. It's just great. It makes me feel really happy. I probably talked about this too long, but that's okay. Just wanted you guys to know about all the stuff. Mario Kart 8 has been another big hot button topic because it raised the Wii U hardware sales by 666% in the UK. Basically, you know how in the biz we talk about a game being the game that's going to sell a console? Well, it's been a while for Wii U, but they finally found that game. They were just so smart about it. They gave us a Mario Kart game that was just Mario Kart. They made it gorgeous, so people really enjoyed playing it. The handling is fantastic, and then to top it off, they said, if you buy Mario Kart 8, you get to download a game for free. Like, what? That was the perfect way to do it. Now, do I think that the momentum is going to be squandered? Possibly. What's good for them is that this put a lot more Wii U's in people's homes, so now people will be more apt to actually buy Wii U games because they'll be desperate to make it feel like they didn't buy it for no reason. But in order for people to even care and keep watch of what games are coming out, they can't just let this die off now. They have to give us, I hate to say it, they have to give us like a Smash Brothers, they have to give us Hyrule Warriors, they have to give us something that people are desperate to play, and both of those games are being talked about nonstop. And I don't know, like, the 3DS does so well. Like, most of the games that come out for the 3DS, people are like, yes, so jazzed. But with the Wii U, they just can't, like, what? They're like horses. They're like horses walking down the exact same track, and one of them is like this. Like, eye on the prize, right? This is the 3DS. You wouldn't think it because they can't see, you know, everything that's going on, but they're this horse. They're the horse that's gonna reach the goal real quick. And then the Wii U horse is just like, wow, the world is so beautiful. But the point is, they have an opportunity now. E3 is right around the corner. They can show us some new games. That weird Mario Make game that people keep filtering pictures around for. Nobody actually knows what it is, but, you know, there's a setup for it at E3 apparently, so we'll find out. A couple of different companies have been under the gun recently, which shouldn't surprise anybody. To start with, Steam adjusted their FAQ when it comes to early access and made a couple people angry. Basically, they changed it to say there's a possibility that the devs won't finish this game, so be aware of that. Wait, let me bring up the actual, oh, hi mommy. Okay. So the FAQ right now says it's up to the developer to determine when they are ready to release. Some developers have a concrete deadline in mind, while others will get a better sense as the development of the game progresses. Then, very recently, they added the statement, you should be aware that some teams will be unable to finish their games, so you should only buy an early access game if you are excited about playing it in its current state. They then went on to add again, you keep access to the game even if the game later moves from early access into fully released. I guess like after Towns was put through Greenlight and then was like, ah, never mind, we're just not gonna finish the game, and they had been in early access, a lot of people were so angry that Valve had to go in and be like, let's fix this language here. Okay, I think we're good now. Like, essentially before this, they didn't have any verbiage that was covering their butts in the case of a company saying, you know what, forget it. Thanks for all the early access money, see you boners. Another company that is getting a lot of grief, way more than Valve, is Mojang. So as you guys know, people put a lot of effort and energy and time and love into their servers. They create these big servers, they create these great, amazing games, and invite people to come in and play them. So for the most part, these big, elaborate servers get donations in order to keep them running and keep them updated. Now Mojang came out and was like, you can't do that anymore. I mean, you can have your server, but you can't get donations for it, because that's like asking people to pay for the game twice, so. Now this is the sort of thing that we hear right before modding communities completely die. Mojang is going to crack down on these servers that are accepting donations and say it's because they don't want people to pay to win, or they don't want people paying for the game twice. It's going to destroy that whole community of people, because otherwise how do they keep the servers running? Like, the bigger the servers are, the harder it is. It happens in games all the time, and unfortunately it winds up looking like the company that made the game is saying, oh, you're profiting off of our stuff? Oh, no, we don't like that. Which I get, but with the creation of Minecraft Realms, it looks like you're just trying to snuff out all of the servers that aren't paying you for a server. For the most part, the feeling right now is you didn't have to go this hard. You didn't have to make it sound like we're outright criminals, because that's not fair. We're a community that loves your game. A game that is completely based on letting your imagination run wild and do amazing, cool stuff, and now we're being punished for that? And obviously some people don't agree with that at all. They're like, no, you're making money off of that game, like that's not okay. And that's fine. This is a struggle that's been going on, man, since I was like a kid, since like early Sims days, guys. Like, people were making cool hairstyles for Sims and then got shut down, and this has been going on forever. As a final bit of news, I just want to let you guys know, E3 is next week. It's right around the corner, and Twitch signed a contract earlier this year stating that for the next 3 years, they would be the source for E3 content. So basically, if you want to watch a stream of E3, like the official E3 stream, it's going to be on Twitch. You can go there. I'll link you guys to where you can go, and it'll have the whole schedule broken down for what you want to see. It's super cool. Twitch is pretty reliable. Oh, also, they're doing E3 trailer battles again. So this is where there's a YouTube channel. I'll link you to this too. There's a YouTube channel where they show all of the trailers that come out at E3, and you vote on which trailers you thought were awesome. I like that. So yeah, I don't know, man. Do both. Like, between conferences, when you like don't want to watch the stream anymore, just go vote on trailers. Like, we could fill up your whole week for you. Anywho, that is my show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of the love on Welcome to the Fandom, and Swords and Stitches hasn't come out yet, but it will be coming out this next Friday, so jazzed. So please watch those. Please let me know what you guys think. Welcome to the Fandom comes out every Wednesday now. Swords and Stitches will be coming out every Friday. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays I will be trying to stream. I can't stream this next week or the week after that because I've got E3 and then I'm going to be out of the country. But once we get back from that, we're going to go hard into that schedule, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the streams and everything else that I'm doing. So wish me luck. Thanks for sticking with me through the hiatus and everything. I appreciate it. And if you'd like to have coffee with me, you can click where we put the annotation. But otherwise, I will talk to you guys again next Saturday. Bye-bye. Mwah! See you, boners.